So, I've actually been meaning to make this video for a couple days now. There's one. Hi, Win. Well, actually, I've been meaning to make this for almost a week now. Oh, guys, it's been crazy. So it was Sunday last week. That was the 1 year, no, not 1 year. That was actually the 2-year anniversary. Oh, I'm trying to not have bad lighting, but at the same time, I really don't want to stare at a lamp. It was the 2-year anniversary of my sister dying in a car accident. Now we weren't blood family, but long story short, my brother Ben and I share a mother. We don't have the same dad. Ben shares a dad with 2 other kids, which those 2 other kids share a mom. One of them, her name was Chelsea, and the son was named Garth. So, I did grow up being around Chelsea and Garth quite a bit until my brother's father decided to just be gone. I don't know if it was that or if I don't know all the details, except that he was a piece of shit. And yeah. But yeah. And the thing is that, and this is why, a lot of kids are like, ooh, we don't want to wear our seatbelts, or people will be like, oh, we don't need to. No, that's one of the biggest things that, caused problems. She didn't wear her seatbelt. And, there wasn't a lot of details, but I know that it was speculated there's alcohol use, but that was disproven. And, that's why I tell people, you guys just please wear your seatbelts. Even if, you guys have friends who say you're babies or something dumb. If anyone ever tries to convince you to not wear a seatbelt, tell them, hey, ask them how they would feel if they lost somebody they love so much and never got to see him again. It's hard to lose somebody to something that was completely preventable. Seatbelts save lives. I know I've had a couple people try to bullshit me before and be like, oh, well, you can get caught in them. It's like, wow. Very, it's not nearly as much as if you don't wear them, it fucking can kill you guys. But, so that's left me really fucked up. And, not doing so good. And then I got another call from my insurance from billing. And, they're again saying, no, your insurance will not cover your IUD. And, it's so frustrating because it's like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, I'm not getting the IUD for sex purposes. How I had the IUD in for months before I even met Chris. Because I had gotten it in, I think it was May of 2018. I didn't even meet Chris until near the end of 2018, till this late December. Then we didn't really start dating until the beginning of January. I see you, Annie. He's so damn cute. But, so, I called the doctor's office and I'm like, guys, like, what is going on? And they're like, we're submitting stuff, like, we're doing all that we can. And so that's very frustrating. One thing they say, they're like, have you tried calling Planned Parenthood? No. So I called Planned Parenthood. They stopped carrying the Mirena between 2 and 3 years ago. And the thing is that I know for sure it's the Mirena that is the one I should be getting, because that's what my doctor recommended. And since there are some IUDs and some, non-pill birth controls that can indeed still cause blood clot or can have an adverse effect with all my shit. And that's where it gets really frustrating, because, like, it's, yeah, you could say that you're wanting me to just, deal with it on my own, but it's frustrating. So they're like, have you called the manufacturer? Now, I had actually called the manufacturer in, like, April 2018, when originally they weren't going to pay for it. Because last year they were saying, medical necessity, and they were like, okay, we'll pay for it. And that's why we can't figure out what the hell's going on. Anyway, so I call them up, and, like, I'm just expecting to be told no. But, this time, I don't know if I just didn't say anything last time or what the hell, but, I'm like, look, I need this medically, and then, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm on disability, and, because, before I go any further, let me tell you the quote that the hospital gave me when they called, their billing people called to, tell me that my insurance wasn't going to cover it. $2,222. I get, and I don't usually like to, talk about, like, my monetary business, but I get a total of $885 a month through disability. So, and let me say this much. I usually have not even $100 left over after all of my bills are paid. I have less than $100, and that isn't including things like gas, medications, things that I can't get at Walmart. Because the biggest thing is that I have ways of earning Walmart gift cards. Hence why through doing stuff in which it's not like a lot of money, it helps cover maybe a couple prescriptions. But my point is that, it's not like I have all this fucking money sitting around. And, even like if I were able to save up like $100 a month, guess what? And the price will probably go up. It'll take at least 2 years. Literally 2 years. And, of course, right after that, I'm like, I'm sorry. So, like, I start crying. Because I'm freaking out. And then they're like, well, we can give you a 35% discount. And I told her, I'm like, that's still 2 months of my full disability. That's at least 2 months. Like, what the hell? So, anyway, back to where I was. So I called up Bear, and I went through all of the shit. I told them the whole story, and they're, I can't, that's 2 months of disability for me. And they're like, oh, you get, public assistance. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm on disability for, because I have so many medical problems. And they're like, well, you actually probably qualify for a program to get it for free. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? Because last year they fucking denied me. They're like, no. But, they're like, well, it sounds like it's medical necessity too, so, they're already saying, we don't know why your insurance wouldn't cover it. Because, so, they email me the paperwork. They're like, your doctor has to fill out this. So, that's all send this in, make a copy for yourself, and you should be fine. Alright, cool. And so that was my Tuesday. Wednesday, I called my insurance company as well, just to be like, what the hell's going on? Because right now, doing this stuff through Bayer, that's like my backup plan. Because I don't know, what is going to happen. Because on top of that, I also wanted to call and be like, hey, number one, you guys are fucking with my health. I only have a few more days left of the medication that's been pausing my period. Because the last one I had was 5 weeks. And it didn't stop until they gave me medication. That period was not going to stop. So young women, quick little PSA, do not be embarrassed about getting on birth control for menstrual problems. Please don't. I've been on birth control since I was 13. All because I have monster periods. I was on the pill for 11 years before I got a blood clot. And I feel like maybe we should have been watching that blood test a little bit more closely, Especially since, apparently it's a very, that's a big risk. Because blood clots can and do kill people. I still remember in a horrifying fashion, I just remember crawling to my mom's car thinking I was gonna die because mine went into my lung. And eventually I'm gonna make a full-on video on all the medical problems that I have and have had. It's long and complicated and ridiculous to a point where I'm probably gonna write it out, an actual script for it, because oh my god, you guys don't even know half of it. It's ridiculous. Back to my point. Okay, let me think. So yeah, I'm calling up my insurance, and this lady's giving me shit, ma'am, we don't cover that sort of thing. And it's like, what part of blood clot almost killed me? I don't know what you guys aren't understanding. And, she's like, well, if we're not going to pay for it, we're not going to pay for it. I'm like, but, this is medical necessity. She's like, well, that's for them to decide. And I'm like, you guys already paid for this before. And she's like, well, ma'am, we're not paying for it. And I'm like, give me to your supervisor, because if she was in person, I would have been having to do live streams from prison, trying to get fucking bail money. Oh my god. I fucking hate ignorant people. So I finally got a hold of her supervisor, and I reported her, because I'm like, dude, I repeated some of the stuff, and he's like, yeah, that's not acceptable. And, I understand. Sometimes people are new. This girl didn't even know about making a fucking appeal. What? The fuck? Anyway, so the gentleman is very nice, and, I should have, the first thing I told the guy, I'm like, look, you might not understand it because you're a guy, but I told him the whole period situation, and he's like, yeah, that's not normal. And he's like, I know I'm just a guy, but that's not normal. I'm like, exactly. So he actually told me about how to make the appeal process. He said that there wasn't an appeal in their side yet, and I think my doctor's office is trying to avoid having to make an appeal, but I think we're going to have to just straight up just skip ahead of that. And he said that after a few times, of appeal getting denied, a written appeal, then they can speak, on the phone to somebody, and if something is still getting mistranslated, he said that somebody higher up like him, they can make an appeal to him, and, he straight up told me, he's like, that doesn't seem so far-fetched. for us to pay for a medically necessary thing. And I'm like, do you make the most sense anyone's made today? And, it's hard. Like, because everyone assumes that birth control is a sexual thing. Does it prevent babies? Yes. Does it help you have safer sex when it comes to contraception, not making babies? Yes. But that's not the only thing it does. And I remember when I was young and first on it, I was like so scared of someone finding out that I was on it and saying that I was a whore or something. And I'll say this much. If you don't want to have sex, good. If you want to have sex, good. You want to be with multiple partners, you want to do, hell, Emmy doesn't king shame, whatever. When I call somebody a whore, it is because I don't like them. And of course, there was this one girl named Emily, oh my god, Emily Jones, oh my god. Here's the problem. Girl, she flaunted that she slept around. And then would get offended when somebody would be like, oh, are you hoeing around? Even jokingly, she'd be like, I'm not a hoe. It's like, ooh, see, the fact that I don't like you makes you a whore. I mean, if I don't like you, if I really cannot stand you, you could be a virgin and also call you a whore. It's hard to get on my really, truly permanent backside. Bad side. I'm very tired. So back to more things. Alright, so I had to make a special trip to Medina. So I could go to my doctor's office and be like, hey, here is the paperwork, because I didn't want to have to wait through mail. And I'm like, I'll go get to see my family, blah, 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 blah. I need to go to bed, but it's only 10 o'clock. So I do that, and the ladies there are really impressed. They're like, wow, you're actually being really proud. It's like, I need to get this thing in, because either A, you guys are gonna have to find a medicine to keep pausing my period, or B, this thing is gonna get inside me. And, the guy you mentioned, he's like, if for some reason they still won't cover it and you're able to get Bayer to send you one for free, he said there wouldn't be any, I think, he's like, I don't think it'd be too much for, the company to pay to just get it put in. I mean, would they rather pay for all of it or just get it put in? Because, 90% of the cost is getting the item. Not, and then, compared to that, it's only, 10% of that is getting it in which, between me and Chris, we could find a way to, pay a bit to get it put in if the insurance just puts its heels in the ground and says no. In which, I don't see why they wouldn't, but, of course, they're starting to be kind of unreasonable. I know that it's Medicare, but come on. So, I got all that done. I go see my grandfather, and me and him just go to McDonald's, get some ice cream, chill, because we want to get away from my uncle, because my uncle's a giant fucking piece of shit. Oh my god, my uncle's a piece of shit. So my grandpa and I were talking, and, I'm not going to give a lot of details, but one thing, at his birthday in May, it really fucked me up, because I didn't mean to hear this, over, and, he was saying stuff he doesn't, birthdays don't matter, because, he doesn't have my grandma, and he doesn't have her, and he doesn't, you can't figure, why he's still around. And it broke my fucking heart, you guys. I'm trying to cry. Well, fuck it. Apparently I'm gonna cry. It really fucked me up. And, I was raised by my mom, my grandma, and my grandpa, so losing my grandma already really messed me up. I don't know how I'm gonna function if I lose my grandpa. He means the world to me. Same as if I lost my mom, even though, we're only just now, like, getting to a better partner relationship. I don't know. I really don't. So, I asked him what he wanted for Father's Day. He said what he wants he can't have. And that's my grandma back. I don't want you guys to see me. Oh, God. Oh, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. But it's been really weighing heavily on me. Because I love my grandfather so much. And I know I miss my grandma too. I miss her. I miss her so much. But it's just leaving me really heartbroken that my grandpa just... I don't think he would kill himself, but it's like, it's not like suicidal, but I think he's just kind of given up on life, which I almost can't blame him. Because when my grandma died, shortly before that, I know I was feeling suicidal. Because I wanted myself to be taken instead of her. I wanted to take her place. And even though I know it's irrational. That's why, like, my grandpa struggles with stuff. I can't lose him, too. I can't. I don't think I could handle it. I can't. I really can't. But I would give the world for more time with her. I'm still not ready to forgive my mom for not being completely honest with me about how bad she was getting. I'm not ready to forgive my mom. And that's on me. That I'm just not ready to. Especially with how I view forgiveness. She just hasn't, she could do a lot of things, but I'm just not ready to forgive her yet. But, yeah, I didn't mean to start crying. I'm sorry, guys. But, it's been really hard. And I need to just grieving for me takes a lot more time than it probably does for a lot of other people. And I think part of that is because I lost Chelsea in June of 2017. I lost my grandmother in October 2018. I really don't know what is going to happen in October. Because when it does become the 1 year anniversary, I might, I don't know. I might need my mom to come stay with me, or I might have to stay with her. Just to make sure I'm safe, because I just don't want to risk being in that really dark place again. Because I was there, and I had thoughts and shit, but yeah, I need to plan accordingly. But, yeah. Sorry I cried, guys, but I love you guys, and you guys mean a lot to me, too. Alright. So things have been really bad emotionally, so I'm, a lot of shit that happens. So it's not that I'm quitting YouTube, or I just need more time to grieve and I need to do self-care. And I need to make sure that I can take care of myself. Alright, I love you guys. And I'll try to get back to streaming soon, but I just need to take my time. Alright. Bye, guys.